Greetings, dear beautiful spirit soul that you are. So great being out today, Castle Lake. It's really great getting up early. See, I could go to bed around 6:30 at night. I mean, if you're doing time, but actually, I try and stay out of time because it's just, it's a concept. And so I like to get up really early, 2 in the morning or 2:30 or 3 o'clock, because that's a great time to meditate and I could write and focus, and then nice little fire in the wood stove was all cozy and everything. So just breathe it in. Now my topic: increasing your energy of manifestation. Increasing your energy of manifestation. Now what that means is increasing your experience and expression of who you really are. See, people give money as the source of the energy of manifestation. Well, if I had the money, then I could do this. Well, I don't have the money because I can't do this. Well, I'd like him if he had the money, but I don't like her because she got too much money, or they don't have any money and doesn't have a job, and better get this, you better get this because you got to survive. You see. So it goes on and on and on. You got movies, TV shows, videos, all talking about the struggles, the problems. I had this one friend of mine, he's a wonderful script writer, and he's really not expressing it that much, but he really does a beautiful job. And I showed him I asked him to read one of my books that I haven't really published in a big way. I call Prospering Choices. It's all about discernment and how to know what to do and what not to do, what other people are up to and all of this. So, but I had him read it, and the problem is there isn't any conflict, basically, as an enemy. And he said, well, no, it won't work as a script because you have to have the protagonist. Now, who said I had to have a protagonist? Who said I had to have a disaster? Who said I had to? Because writers say that, because that's how that captures people, to get the people into fear or to get the people identifying with it. And it's all programming, because when you erase that, all you have is you. And it's not that you're a blob, not that you're just merged into the one. You're already united with spirit and a soul. Super soul is with each of us. We are with each. Yes. We're already unified. Just acknowledge it. People say, well, he's going to die, go to God. You're already with God, the divine, the real God. See, okay, I got a lot we're talking about today. But anyway, increasing your energy of manifestation, it's you. Instead of giving the power to everyone and everything outside yourself, the money, the stuff, the stocks, all of this, because it's all for the body, survival of the body, comfort of the body. I used to think that real wealth meant you just sat around on a lounge chair and people brought you Mai Tais or cleaned your house, washed your clothes, put them on. You just kind of walk from place to place, get all dressed up, ride in the car, go here. This is it. But basically, really just let other people wait on you all the time. It's very interesting. My great teacher when I lived in India, Haridas Shastri Ji, Maharaj Babaji, and he's not, every old man's called Babaji, so don't go all blah, 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 it's just a name. And to get him to let me serve him and others personally, even clean his room, was almost impossible, because he was never looking for personal service, but he did want us to serve his work, which is I contributed hundreds of thousands of dollars into that work, and and built a big ashram in places where people can go to study and go to learn, and it helps to feed the poor, and there's some Ayurvedic and medicine and stuff. So that's how I contributed to him, by serving that, and building his library and giving him the money then in order to do that. Because that's when people, it's really interesting. And how much I've been empowered, because there was no amount of money that I could ever give to ever acknowledge the benefits that I have received from him. And through the ancient teachings and such that actually shifted my whole experience of who I am and what's possible. So to increase your energy of manifestation, you have to let go of all of the false ideas, concepts, beliefs, words, thoughts, and meanings and such that you have used to define yourself and what's possible. And so what happens, everything becomes so big and so out of reach as how would I ever do that? But so much of that doesn't come from the heart. It isn't you. It comes from the mind and what you've been told. And, you know, you better get into computers, they're big. And now you want to get into the plastics. And now you want to get into the this because that's where it's at and all that. And you see a lot of soulless people wandering around. They got all the stuff. But where are they? And yeah, you could get pleasure and you could get some stuff. The real key is to energize yourself. And you are divine energy. You are the energy of manifestation. All is possible to you. You got to look at where are you shutting yourself off? Where are you giving power to anything else? And if you need money to whatever, it will come because you're serving. You're outwardly giving. You're not just trying to maintain yourself and protect your portfolio that probably has a lot of killing of animals and sacrifice of humans and because that makes money and pharmaceuticals. And you take a look at, if you have an eternal self, you are eternal. And what you give out is happening to you. And when you really want to own that, and you have to, I've invested hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars on my consciousness because that's all that's important. And so maybe, I can't go here, I can't travel that far, and, I don't know when I'm going to get. People are thinking so much. That's why they have so many problems. They're energizing their mind, they're energizing their thoughts, they're energizing their beliefs, they're energizing others as the source, they're energizing fear. Most people will argue unlimitedly that they have to keep their fears because it's protecting them. Really? People don't even know who they are, have no idea. And I'm not talking to all the people anymore because you know what? You got to do that too, see. I do with you. You take that out and you share it. And whatever works for you. It's not believing me or anybody else. It's I'm sharing you, but even the words I'm speaking can't reveal or share what it really is because that's an experience of us, who we really are. That's beyond words. So how we energize this, how we increase the energy of our own ability to manifest is to eliminate all those fears and thoughts and doubts that are opposing us or working against us. And it's all the beliefs, blah, 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 God's punishing me for this. Really? You're punishing yourself by that, in a sense, cosmic law. So stop terrorizing yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Stop de-energizing yourself and sitting there in a hump. Right now, where you are is where pleasure is. Love of the divine, your own divine super self that we all have in common, yet each have an individual personal relationship with. Focus on that. Let yourself start to get fed from the deep well, the reservoir of the divine. And as you do that, more and more and more and more, you don't have a concept of birth and death. You're not operating this way. And everywhere you go is wholly divine because you're there. And because you recognize the divine. And you're in harmony. Spend that time in nature. Be good to yourself. And when you're good to yourself, you're going to be good to everyone because you're recognizing who and being who you really are. Who you really are. oftentimes that little sweet child gets that opportunity, you see. And that is the sweet child that you still are. And so many of these poor evil people out in the world, they've been abused and traumatized, and their minds have been, they live in the mind. What you do is you keep the soul, because that's who you are. And when you do that, all is possible to you. Lovingly, easily, magnificently. That's the truth.